Hello everyone. Today we will discuss some numerical problems on the concept of entropy. In our previous lectures, we have already studied about the laws of thermodynamics, zeroth law, first law of thermodynamics, Carnot cycle, and we have already solved some numerical problems that were based on the laws of thermodynamics and Carnot cycles, Carnot engine. Right? You can go through in my other lecture, which is focused on the numerical problems based on the law of thermodynamics. Now, in this lecture, we will focus on the concept of entropy and we will try to solve some numerical problems based on this concept. The objective of this lecture is to acquire the understanding about the implementation of concepts related to the entropy of substance, right? And the outcome, as you know, you will be able to solve the practical problems by yourself that are based on different topics related to entropy. We have already studied about the entropy definition, different concepts related to entropy, entropy change, the principle of increase of entropy. We have seen all these topics in my other lecture that you can find on our YouTube channel, SGVU YouTube channel. You can go there and study from that lecture. Here are some reference books where you can consult these books. You can consult these books to solve these problems, or you can go through other problems as well, because each of the book they have they are containing a numerous number of these numericals. Okay, so let us first recall what we have studied in detail in our other lecture. So we will recall all the important phenomena, all the important formulas related to the concept of entropy. So the first important relation is related to the change in entropy, and that is given by delta Q upon T, that is always constant, and this constant ratio is known as the change in entropy between the two different states that are represented by the two adiabatics. Okay, and that is always denoted by delta S. So our equation becomes delta S equals to delta Q upon T. The second important point is the change of entropy for any adiabatic process. What is that? In adiabatic process, since the heat is not allowed to exchange between surroundings and system, that means dq will be 0, and if dq is 0, from the definition of entropy, it will make delta S equals to 0. That means the entropy remains constant during adiabatic process. Okay. Similarly, if we talk about the isothermal process, what will happen? The change of entropy in isothermal process is given by the integral within the limits of one system to two system. We have to put the coordinates here. Limit the integration of ds within these limits equals to Q upon T. This is the change of entropy in isothermal process we can calculate. Then we will talk about the reversible cycle. Reversible cycle we can consider from, if you remember, if you recall, the Carnot cycle is a perfect reversible cycle and ideal cycle. So the change of entropy is defined for the reversible cycle is defined on the basis of consideration of Carnot cycle, and from there when we calculate for each step, two steps are isothermal and another two are adiabatic. For adiabatic, the entropy change is 0. Only the entropy change occurs during the isothermal expansion and isothermal compression. If we sum up, we find that the total entropy change is 0. That means in a cyclic reversible process, the entropy of system remains unchanged. Okay. Then at the end, we have calculated the entropy of a perfect gas. And this entropy was calculated in terms of different thermodynamic variables. And what are these thermodynamic variables? These are temperature, volume, and pressure, right? So with the two sets of each, like temperature and volume, temperature and pressure, and temperature and pressure and volume. So we have calculated this S in different three terms. S is given by Cv log T plus Cp minus Cv log V plus integration constant plus constant. Then in terms of temperature and pressure, it is given by S equals to Cp log T minus Cp minus Cv log P plus constant. That is again is integration constant. In terms of pressure and volume, it is S equals to Cv log P plus Cp log V plus constant. That is again an integration constant. Now we have also studied that the entropy of one single state is not that important in thermodynamic problem as that of the entropy change during the state change from one state to second state. So the change of entropy can be represented as delta S equals to S2 minus S1, and that can be directly evaluated, that can directly be calculated if we put the integral limits in our generalized equation from state 1 to state 2 coordinates. So we can write all the three relations in terms of temperature and volume, temperature and pressure and volume. That is delta S equals to S2 minus S1 equals to Cv log, it was T here for only one state. Now we are changing it, so we will put the limit from T1 to T2 or V1 to V2 for the second term, because we are considering the coordinates of these two states from one state to second state. So for T it will be T1 to T2, for volume it will be V1 to V2. So we are putting this, since it is log, if we put the limits in our equation log T, it will be log T2 minus log T1, right? When we combine it, because of log term, it will become log T2 upon T1. Similarly, we can do it for volume term. So the formula becomes something like this. The temperature and pressure term, delta S equals to S2 minus S1 equals to Cp. Similarly, log T2 upon T1 minus Cp minus C1 into log P2 upon P1. In terms of pressure and volume, it is given as delta S equals to Cv log P2 upon P1 plus Cp log V2 upon V1. All the equations, it is important to note here that all these equations are calculated for a unit mass of gas, right? For the gas with a unit mass. If we need to consider the mass of gas molecule, in that case, we need to multiply these equations with the mass of gas. That means for the gas of m gram, the change of entropy will be m into this term. Okay. Similarly, it will be happen for all the three relations. Now, since we have already recalled all the concepts, all the important phenomena related to enthalpy, then we can move to numericals now. So the first numerical is saying calculate the change in entropy when 5 kg of water at 100 degree is converted into steam at the same temperature. This is important to see that the temperature should be same. Given latent heat of steam is 540 calorie per gram. Now, what we can write? The heat that is absorbed by 5 kg of water at 100 degrees C, when it is converted into steam, that will be given by delta Q equals to mass into latent heat of vaporization. And that is already we have known 540, the value of latent heat. Then the mass is given as 5 kg. We have to convert in gram because this is given in gram. So 5,000 into 540, that becomes 270,000 calories, right? So using this value, we can calculate the gain in entropy, because the calculate the change in entropy. They are asking the change in entropy. We can calculate the gain in entropy as ds equals to delta Q upon T, and that is given by 270,000 divided by 373, because the temperature is 100 degrees centigrade. That should be converted into Kelvin scale, which becomes 373, and the final answer for entropy change will be 7,240 calorie per Kelvin. Okay, this is the answer for numerical 1. Let us move to numerical 2, that is asking to calculate the change in entropy when 10 gram of ice at 0 degree centigrade is converted into water at the same temperature. So the temperature remains same at 0 degree. That means it is isothermal process. That means it will the entropy will be calculated based on isothermal process, and ds equals to dq upon t for this kind of process. So first we need to calculate the heat that is absorbed by 10 gram of ice to convert it into water, and that will be again equals to m into s, that is 10 gram into latent heat, that is given as 80 calorie per gram. So the total answer is 800 calorie. This we have got delta Q value. Now we know the entropy change is given by delta Q upon T, and T here is 0 degree centigrade, that means 273 Kelvin. So the gain in entropy is ds equals to del Q upon T, that is 800 divided by 273, and the final value is 2.93 calorie per Kelvin. It is quite similar, only difference was the temperature and the slight difference of the temperature. Now let us move to the third numerical, that is asking to calculate the increase in entropy when 1 gram of ice at minus 10 degrees centigrade is converted into steam at 100 degrees C. Some other points are given as specific heat of ice, it is given as 0.5, latent heat of ice is given, that is 80 calorie per gram, and latent heat of steam is also given, that is 540 calorie per gram. Now here it is important that the temperature is changing from minus 10 degree to 100 degree, right? So here we have to be careful. We need to calculate according to limits, what we integrate within the limits, right? So increase in entropy when the temperature of 1 gram of ice increases from minus 10 degree to 0 degree centigrade. First, ds equals to, we will calculate it in two terms, because first is ice to water conversion and then water to steam conversion. So ds equals to T1 to T2 del Q upon T, and that we can write ms into dt upon T, that we can change into mst. Q is given by that formula, right? So we can write ms integration T1 to T2 dt upon T. When we integrate this, we will get log T, and that when we put the limits, it will become log T2 upon T1. Now we know the value of m, that is 1 gram. S is already given here. The specific heat of ice is 0.5 into, now this is log base E. Here we have to convert log base 10, and for that we will multiply by 2.303. It will become into log base 10 of T2 is 273, because it is coming from minus 10 to 0 degree. So 0 degree is 273 Kelvin, whereas T1 is 273 minus 10, that will become 263. When we solve this expression, it gives the entropy change ds equals to 0.01865 calorie per Kelvin. Now the second part of this question, because I told first it will convert from minus 10 to 0 degree, that is for ice, then ice will convert to water at 0 degree, then this water will increase the temperature from 0 to 100 degrees. So we have to split the steps in several different steps. So now the second step is when the 1 gram of ice at 0 degree convert to water at 0 degree centigrade, and that will be given by ds equals to delta Q upon T, and delta Q can be written as m into s upon T. Write it. M is already 1 gram, S is given in the question, that is 80, divide by temperature is 0 degree centigrade, so it will be 0 plus 273 will be 273. So the entropy change for this step will be ds equals to 0.293 calorie per Kelvin, right? Now the third step is when 1 gram of water is heated up to 100 degrees. So the temperature is rise from 0 degree to 100 degrees centigrade, right? So for that, the entropy change will be given by ds equals to uh, integration limits from T1 to T2 of delta Q upon T. And here it will be converted again ms log T2 upon T1, similar to the first step. So it will become log base E T2 upon T1. We need to convert it into base of 10. That for that we multiply here by 2.303. So m we already know 1 gram. S is already given there, 1 into 2.303 into log 10. Now it is going from 0 degree to 100 degree. That means T2 is 100 degree centigrade, or 273 plus 100 is 373 Kelvin, divide by T1, which is 0 degree C. So 273 Kelvin, right? Now if we solve this, we get ds equals to 0.312 calorie per Kelvin. So the next step is when 1 gram of water at 100 degree convert to steam, because the question is saying the ice is converting from ice state to steam state. So we have split it into different steps. The last step for this process is increase in entropy when 1 gram of water at 100 degrees is converted into steam at 100 degrees centigrade. Now the temperature is same, so ds will be equals to delta Q upon T, and delta Q can be written as m into S. M is 1, S is already given for the latent heat of the vaporization, that is 540, divide by temperature is fixed at 100 degrees C, so that will become 373 Kelvin. Here ds equals to, when we solve this, it will be give 1.447 calorie per Kelvin. So the total increase in entropy in all these 4 steps, which will give the conversion of ice at minus 10 degree to steam at 100 degrees centigrade, will be the sum of all these 4 steps. And if we sum up, we will get the total entropy change as 2.07065 calorie per Kelvin. So this is our final answer. So from this question, you need to understand that we need to divide each and every thermodynamic process into smallest easy possible steps, right? Here it was asking from minus 10 to 100 degree. We can convert it directly from minus 10 to 100, but actually that is not the case. It is something similar to the Carnot cycle, where we split into 4 different steps. Very similarly, here also we converted from minus 10 to 0 degree, that is the ice conversion only. Then it changed to from 0 to that ice is converted to water at 0 degree, and finally water reached from 0 to 100 degree, and at 100 degree it converted to steam. So total 4 step was here. Similarly, you can solve some other problems based on this concept. Now let us move to the next numerical of this lecture, that is 50 grams of water at 0 degree centigrade is mixed with an equal mass of water at 80 degrees C. Calculate the resultant increase in entropy. Definitely there will be increase in entropy because we are mixing 0 degree water with 80 degree water. So there is a huge difference of the entropy. The 0 degree water has less entropy because the disorder will be comparatively less at that state, and then disorder at high temperature will be more. So to solve this problem, first let us find out what is given. First thing is given m1 equals to 50 gram, and definitely m2 will also remain 50 gram because with an equal mass of water 80 degrees, right? So this is same 50 50. M1 is 50, m2 is 50. T1 is given at 0 degree centigrade, so that means 273 Kelvin, and the other part is of water at 80 degrees C, so T2 will become 273 plus 80, that will become 353 Kelvin. Now since we are mixing these two waters at different temperatures, let us consider that the final temperature of mixture is given by T Kelvin. Then what will happen? It will be the entropy change will be equal for the two different states. Like for water at 0 degree centigrade, there will be some change, and for 80 degree also there will be some change, and then it should be similar to form a mixture. So we will calculate m1 into s into T minus T1, because from 0 to some intermediate state the entropy is increased. So T minus T1, right? And for the second thing, because this entropy is here, it will also change from T to minus T, right? So we are comparing it. It should be similar because finally it is forming a mixture. So it will be m1 into s into T minus T1 equals to m2 into s into T2 minus T. Putting the values here, m1 is 50, s is 1, and T minus T1 is here 0 degree centigrade. So T minus 273 equals to 50 into 1 into T2 here is 80 degrees C. So that means 353 Kelvin minus T. When we solve this, we find that the intermediate temperature will be equals to 313 Kelvin. Okay, now we will calculate the change in entropy. So change in entropy of 50 gram of water when its temperature rises from 273 to 313 Kelvin. We will calculate it using the integration sign because the temperature is changing. That will be ds equals to del q upon t, and here we can put ms into dt upon t within the limits of t1 to t2. That means 273 to 313 Kelvin. We are calculating here by putting these values. 50 into 1 into the integration of this term will be log t within the limits of t1 to t2. When we solve this, we will get log t2 minus log t1, and finally we get log t2 upon t1. T2 here is 313 Kelvin and T1 is 273 Kelvin. But remember, this is the base of E. We need to convert the base of 10 to solve this problem. So first we will multiply by 2.303 into log base 10 313 divided by 273. So the answer of this will be 6.829 calorie per Kelvin. Okay, this is the first part, which from 0 to that intermediate temperature 313 Kelvin. Now what will happen to the other part? The water is at already 80 degree, which will decrease to 313 Kelvin. That means the entropy will decrease in this case. So what will be happening? ds equals to ms t1 to t2 dt upon t. Similarly, and we will finally get 50 into 1 into log 313 divided by 353. Now we can calculate this value again by converting the base of E to base of 10. We can calculate this. Since you can see here the 313 is less than 353, we can convert it again, 353 on the top and 313 in the denominator. Then we calculate it with the negative sign. Final value will be minus 6.023 calorie per Kelvin. So the resultant entropy change will be the sum of these two values, and these two values will be, so the ds of total system will be equals to this value plus this value. That means 6.829 minus 6.023, and that will give the value of 0.806 calorie per Kelvin. So this is again the problem which is including several steps, right? So you have to identify the steps carefully and you have to calculate the each and individual entropy for each step, and then you can finally sum up to get the real answer. Okay, so let us go to next question. That is 1 gram of water at 20 degrees C is converted into ice at minus 10 degrees C at constant pressure. The heat capacity of 1 gram of water is given as 4.2 joule per gram Kelvin, and that of ice it is 2.1 joule per gram Kelvin. The heat of fusion of ice at 0 degree centigrade equals to 335 joule per gram. Then then calculate the total change in the entropy of the system. So we again have to convert several parts because it is now water is converting into ice, and the temperature for both is also different. So we will split it into different steps. First, we will calculate the change in entropy when the temperature of 1 gram of water is 20 degree. That is 273 plus 20 equals to 293 Kelvin. That falls to the temperature of ice at 0 degree first, because we will split it into different parts. It is 20 degree water to 0 degree water, then it will change into ice from 0 degree ice to minus 10 degree. So first we are calculating for the first part. Okay, so for that ds equals to delta q upon t, and again the temperature is different from 20 to 0 degree centigrade, so we are putting here t1 to t2 ms dt upon t. ms is given already, m is 1 gram, s is given 4.2 joule per gram of Kelvin, and then we will do the integration from 293 Kelvin, because 20 degree C to 0 degree C, that is 273 Kelvin, and dt upon t will be log t, and that will be, by putting the limit, we will get the expression something like this, and here minus 2.9, 0.2969 joule per Kelvin, we get the answer for this particular step. That means it is with the negative sign, that means entropy is decreased for this mixture, for this conversion. Now the second step is when 1 gram of water at 0 degree centigrade convert into ice at 0 degree centigrade. The temperature is same, that means we can directly employ ds equals to delta q upon t, and delta q again is m into s. M is 1 gram, s is 335 upon 273, that will become minus 1.227 joule per Kelvin. Okay, now here see, the heat of fusion of ice at 0 degree centigrade is 335 joule per gram. So this is the heat which is used for the conversion of water into ice at 0 degree centigrade. So that we have here, we have put this value here. Okay, final answer is again minus 1.227 joule per Kelvin, and that again means that the entropy in this system falls down. Okay, and that is for sure, because liquid is converting into solid form, and the entropy of liquid is always greater than the solid form, so the entropy change will be negative. Now the third step, when the entropy changes during the temperature of 1 gram of ice changes from 273 Kelvin to 263 Kelvin. It is converting from 0 degree to minus 10 degree. So 273 to 263 Kelvin. Again, we will use here the temperature is different. So we will use again the integration form. ds equals to delta q upon t, that can be written as integration between t1 to t2 ms dt upon t. Putting the values of respective terms, we get the final answer again as minus 0.07834 joule per Kelvin. This is again minus, which means the entropy is falling further. So all these steps are concluded. Now if we want to calculate the total entropy change during whole process, we need to sum up all these steps, and after summing up, we get this term, and this term, all are in negative sign. So we get the final is minus 1.60224 joule per Kelvin. That means the total entropy of this process falls down during the conversion of water at high temperature to ice at very low temperature, minus 10 degrees centigrade. So this is the solution for this numerical. Let us move to the next numerical, which is giving, it is asking that calculate the change of entropy on converting a mole of a gas occupying 20 liters at a pressure of 2 into 10 to the 5 Newton per meter square to occupying 50 liters at a pressure of 5 into 10 to the 5 Newton per meter square. Here it is given that R equals to 8.4 joule per mole per Kelvin, and Cv is also given 21 joule per mole Kelvin. Here we need to point out what are given things. P1 is given first 2 into 10 to the 5 Newton per meter square. Then P2 is given 5 into 10 to the 5 Newton per meter square. So we have written these two values. Now volume is also correspondingly. V1 is 20 liters and V2 is 50 liters here. So V1 and V2 also pointed out. Now we know for a perfect gas, what is the formula? PV equals to RT. If we put it, PV upon T equals to constant. So for two different states, we can write it P1 V1 upon T1 equals to P2 V2 upon T2. From here, we can calculate the ratio of T2 upon T1, that will be equals to P2 V2 upon P1 V1, and that will give 6.25. Also, we can get the value of V2 upon V1, that is 50 upon 20, and we get answer 2.5. Now we have the values of T2 upon T1 and V2 upon V1. We already have the value of CV and R. Now we can put the formula which connect entropy with the temperature and volume term. So here you can see the change in entropy can be written as CV log T2 upon T1 plus Cp minus Cv into log V2 upon V1. Now since these are on the basis of E, we need to convert it into the base of 10. It will change Cv into 2.303 into log base of 10 T2 upon T1 plus similarly like this. Now we are putting the values of T2 upon T1, which is already calculated on last page, V2 upon V1 already given as 2.5, right? Now if we calculate all this expression, we will finally get that 46.1813 joule per Kelvin was the increase in entropy of this system, of this process, right? Let us move to the next question of today's lecture, that is related to TS diagram. That was an important diagram in place of PV diagram. We have introduced this diagram when the need of entropy was realized by Clausius. So it is quite similar to that of PV diagram. The P axis on the y-axis can be replaced by T on y-axis, and here the volume axis can be replaced by the entropy term. So that's why it is known as TS diagram. So let us assume that the heat supplied is dq at temperature T. The increase in entropy can be written as ds equals to dq upon T. This is just by the definition, or we can write it as dq equals to T into ds. Now let us assume, because this is the isochoric curve and isobaric curve. So first we will calculate for the isochoric process. In isochoric process, what happened? Volume is constant. If volume is constant, then we can represent the specific heat as in this term, dq equals to Cv dt. Here dq value we can put Tds. It becomes Tds equals to Cv dt, or ds equals to Cv dt upon T. Now we need to check the slope of isochoric curve. So slope of isochoric curve on TS diagram will be dt upon ds. T is on y-axis and s is on the x-axis. So the slope will be dt upon ds, and from here we get the value as T upon Cv. Okay, that was asked in the question. We need to prove that the slope of isochoric curve is given by T upon Cv. Similarly, for the isobaric process, what is constant? The pressure is constant, and we can write dq as equals to Cp into dt. If we want to know about the slope of the curve, isobaric curve, then it will be again given by dt upon ds. From here we can calculate it. If we put the value of dq as tds, it will be tds equals to Cp into dt. We just rearrange it, and we find that dt upon ds is given by T upon Cp. So again, the slope of isobaric curve is T upon Cp. That is already proved here. Okay. Then the last question of today's lecture is a mass m of a liquid at temperature T1 is mixed with an equal mass of same liquid at temperature T2. Okay, so the mass of both the liquids are same, but the temperature are different, T1 and T2. The system is thermally insulated. Okay, there is no heat exchange possible. Then show that the entropy change of the universe is 2 mCp log T1 plus T2 upon 2 under root T1 T2. So it is given that the liquid of mass m at temperature T1 is mixed with the same liquid of same mass at temperature T2. So the temperature of the mixture of these two liquids will be T1 plus T2 divided by 2. That will be the average temperature. We can directly calculate from these two different temperatures. Let us calculate the change in entropy now for each liquid. The change of entropy of one liquid of mass m in changing the temperature from T1 to T1 plus T2 divide by 2 will be, it will be using the integration formula for delta S. So it is the first process, so we are representing it as delta S1, that will be integration within limits of t1 to t1 plus t2 divided by 2 into dq of dq upon dt. Now putting the value of different terms dq, we can write it as t1 to t1 plus t2 upon 2 and m into cp dt, right, divide by t. Now if we solve this by simple integration, it will give you mcp is constant, so it will come out, the integration of this term will be log t. When we put the values of this, it will become log base e t1 plus t2 divided by 2 minus log t1. If we combine it, it will give you mcp log base e t1 plus t2 upon 2t1. Now this is the from one liquid to the mixture of liquid. Now in the next step, we will consider from the second liquid to the mixture of liquid, and from T2 to T1 plus T2 divided by 2 temperature, right? Very similar to this, we can write delta S2 equals to this value T2 to T1 plus T2 divided by 2 of dq upon T. We can replace this dq as mcp dt divided by T. mcp is constant, so we will take it out and it will become log T1 plus T2 divided by 2 minus log T2. If we combine these two together, it can be written as mcp log e base of T1 plus T2 divided by 2T2. That's it. Now we have two different entropies from here to here and here to here. Now the total entropy change of the universe can be obtained by adding the two values. Delta S equals to delta S1 plus delta S2. It will become mcp of log T1 plus T2 upon 2T1 plus mcp log T1 plus T2 upon 2T2. When we combine it together, the upper term will be, because this is the addition, if we take it inside log, it will be multiplication of both the terms. Then it will become T1 plus T2 square divided by 4 into T1 T2. Okay. Now if we rearrange in the square form, it can be written as mcp log T1 plus T2 divided by 2 under root T1 T2 to the power 2. Now we can again arrange from here. We can take this 2 outside of log. It will convert the equation as 2 mcp and log base e T1 plus T2 divided by 2 under root T1 T2. Right, and this was the question. It was saying that show that the entropy change of universe is 2 mcp log T1 plus T2 upon 2 under root T1 T2. So that's what we have got here as a answer. So this is all for today's numerical. These are different type of numericals which can be solved for understanding of concept of entropy related phenomena, entropy related laws. I hope these numericals help you to understand the concept of entropy more clearly. Okay. If you have any doubt, any questions, you can ask by writing in the comment box. You can directly email to me, and for the understanding of theoretical part, you can consult the other videos which are uploaded on the official SGBU channel, SGBU Applied Science channel on YouTube. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for your listening. Thanks a lot.